It's a great day in SimWorld, everybody. Good morning and welcome to SimWorld today, the post-candy edition. Some of us are all a little hyped up on candy. Some of us are a little stomach hurting due to candy, maybe. I don't know, perhaps. But look, we're here for the show regardless, man.
Yeah.
Yells, how are you? Good morning.
Stomach's not hurting, but I think we also a lot of us have the post Halloween sniffles, right?
Yeah.
Been out there handing out candy or walking with kids, and then whatever else you did afterwards. So I'm ready to go. You know what day it is? It's Hump Day. Some world
Hump
today.
day?
Let's do it, man.
Let's do it, man. Let's jump right into it. So we know yesterday we heard the big news. Bryce James has made his return to Showtime. LeBron has said, "Hey, Bryce, you can go back and play. It's fine." So glad he granted his son to do that. The question though now becomes, what is Bryce's role on Showtime? Because there's a lot of talk about, is this still Cole Webb's team? Is it now Bryce's team? Uh, you know, I wanna take this one first, if you don't mind, just because I feel like both sides of that discussion are fair in having that. But I think that it becomes. I've done a lot of thinking on it, and I've gone back and forth on it. Is it Cole's? Is it Bryce's? Whose is it? I think that because of the level of talent of both of these kids, I think that it's both of their teams in a way. It's a collaborative by
Oh,
committee.
how did
But
I know
at
you were
first,
gonna be so nice,
and
B.
and
Ron?
well, but here's the thing, and I said it yesterday. Here's the thing:
Okay.
you have two kids who are really talented, and they can both go score, and they both go score in bunches if they get hot to do it. So there's no reason why, in my opinion, you can't have both these kids getting 15 points a game on the high end 15. I know that's high, but I said it yesterday. Well, those kids are talented, and me doing them a disservice, saying, "Oh, maybe they'll average 10 together." That's only 20 points. You give them both 15, that makes it a little bit easier on the other guys around. You don't have to do so much uh, without you, if that makes sense.
Yeah, so I don't know if when we say the role is dependent upon stats or usage or when the ball's in their hand or who you go to, I think that's going to be something that's going to be very very real for Coach Joyner to figure out who he's going to in the clutch
Yeah, man, it's gonna be hard to
of
do.
games. Yeah, like who's your go to.
Who's your
But
closer, all that stuff. Yeah.
Yeah, for sure. But I think for me, Cole Webb's gonna have the ball in his hands more, but he's a ball handler. He's in the ball handling role, so I think
Yeah.
I think that automatically puts him in the forefront. So that's where I stand with it. But I say this: it's LeBron's kid. So anybody you can say what you want. Anybody can say whatever they want. But it's
Yeah.
LeBron's kid, and there's some roles that go along with that you got to a pecking order that you have to fall in. I'm pretty sure that came with something. And if LeBron says, hey, I need in on this. I need my son in. I'm pretty sure that's going to happen. He's going to be just like last year. This puts them back in the position of having a de facto coach whenever he wants to step in and say something. And God forbid he's live at the game at any point in time, because I think at that
Right.
point that puts that added pressure on there. So on the
Yep.
court, I think by happenstance, with Cole Webb having the ball in his hands, I think that it's his team. I think he leads. But I think when need be, or if Bryce develops, I think there'll be moments where we'll see it be Bryce James's team for sure.
Yeah, and the thing about it is too, look, everybody knows that I'm the nice guy or whatever. Like I get that, but I feel like even though what I said may have come across in like the nice way, I feel like I feel like it's it's the correct call due to the talent level of those two kids. If we're talking about Bryce James and Adam Smith, sure, Bryce James take the number one role. That's easy. But because we have these two players here in Cole Webb and Bryce James, the talent level of these two kids, in my opinion, like I said, that's not an easy choice to make. But you can give them both that by committee role, and it's not a bad thing. We talk about it in other sports all the time. Why is it a bad thing here to say that that's what it could be? I'm not saying that you're saying that, yo. that's,
B-Ron,
that's just
who the hell is
my
Adam Smith?
my opinion. I just threw a random name, man.
Who in the hell is that?
That's what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying, though. Like, you could say if it's Adam Smith and Bryce James, and it's just a nobody in this scenario. So Bryce James, sure, take the role. But if we're talking about Cole Webb and Bryce James, too, Cole Webb, we've been talking about this kid for a long time. We know he wanted to come stateside to play and get under the bright lights and all that stuff. Now he's here and he has the opportunity. And Bryce James came back. You know, we thought it was gonna be Cole's team. Bryce is now here. It can still be Cole's team. But it can also be Bryce's team too. There's no reason they can't share that spotlight. The other thing though is this might also cause problems in the locker room too, perhaps with Bryce's return and other players who are maybe looking to get a little more opportunity this coming season.
Yeah.
Mark Chisholm, Israel Vines coming to
Sure.
mind. So there's that whole side of it too.
Yeah, and I think that's an excellent point there. I don't think there'll be any. I can't see any of these kids on here, at least between Cole Webb, Israel Vines, who was extremely patient and calm last year behind not getting minutes, and Bryce James. As far I can't see there being any turmoil in the locker room or any any dismay with one another because they seem to be high character kids.
Yeah. I
But
don't
what
see
I
it
would,
happening either, but we had to talk about it.
yeah. But what I will say is it does for Cole Webb. You wanted the bright lights. You got the bright lights, and you went to a team. And here's what the bright lights get you. Now Bryce James is back. So that's what goes on. Teams that have bright lights are going after big game. They're going big game hunting, big fish catching. They're going after the bright lights, and they brought in the bright lights. We'll see what kind of spotlight that shines on you.
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely, 100% agree. Good luck to both those kids in Showtime this season for sure.
I'm rooting for Bryce. Bryce is my favorite James, favorite person out of the James clan, more so than Bronny or LeBron himself.
Okay, all right. Look, good to know, man. I feel like you said that before, and I just forgot. But thanks for bringing it back up and reminding me again, because brains all over the place here.
Yeah.
Look, man, we got another edition of Fact or Fiction here. We saw that Jarrell Beauchamp has joined SimWorld Oceania along with Damian Luffy. Fact or Fiction, does Beauchamps add to SimWorld Oceania, make them a serious competitor for the coming season?
Oh hell yeah! Can I get a hell yeah? I think all Oceania wants to get a hell is getting a oh hell yeah. Yeah, man, absolutely. I think this is a scary squad. So here's what I'll say. Damian Luffy, I think the rankings came out. I know we'll get to that. He's ranked. Neither one of these kids are ranked in the top 50 anywhere that I've seen. That don't matter. While everybody's fighting about rankings, we're talking about skill on the court. These are some supremely skilled kids. And Damian Luffy, then you get to, and he likes to work on the interior. He likes to work around the basket. He can shoot. He can spread the court, but he likes to work in that mid-post area inside the key as a guard, triple threat, small forward kind of work. But then you bring in Jarrell Beauchamp, who he starts with the ball in his hands at the top of the key or anywhere outside in the perimeter. Now they have a 1-2 punch that they did not have, which can lead to wins on any given night. Do I think that they're suddenly a favorite? No, but I think there's going to be some top teams that are going to get knocked off and be surprised by the skill level that you have there. And then let's add the caveat. Let's add or not the caveat, but the cherry on top that everyone's forgetting. Olsen Myers came in late last season for Rocky Mountain, and he turned that team when they were starting to spin out of control. He had them, pun intended, rocking and rolling. And now he's at OSHA. He is a quality coach, so I'm sure he's going to figure out a game plan for these two, and it's going to be scary.
Okay. All right. No, I am trying to find a way to disagree with you for the sake of
Yeah.
discussion. That's
Don't
all.
no man. Hey, this is a live show. You ain't got to disagree. If I'm right, I'm right. If I'm right, I'm right.
Yeah, I was trying to find something to disagree with you on and all of that statement, because I know last time we did this, we both agreed. Um, and once again, I cannot.
Don't be
I'm
breaking
not.
that fourth wall, man. Don't break that fourth
I'm not
wall.
going. No, no, no. That's not breaking the fourth wall. I'm not trying to find a way to disagree with you this morning. I was trying to, but I can't. No, I think it does make them serious contenders. Their skills together or their skills apart from each other are great in what they can do on the court. So if you got those two on the same team and you can get them to coexist, it's the old wrestling storyline yells, can they coexist? That's gonna be, I think, the main part of it too. And if they can, then yeah, they'll be fine, no
Look,
problem.
they're both 17. You got Yvonne Conwell there, who was probably looking for a larger role. He's 17. This is their last year in SimWorld Prep, so I think they'll figure a way out to get the best out of this team for one season before they move on to whatever's the rest of their careers. Hold for them. I know Bo Camp's got UNLV and Nevada and a few other Midwest colleges looking at him. Luffy's looking to start getting some looks here. I think they're going to be just fine, and I think they're going to scare some teams.
Yeah, fair enough, man. Well, look, speaking about all this talent, between Bryce James, Cole Webb, Bo Camp, Luffy, a lot of teams, it seems like, they have a ton of talent on these teams. There is a point in time, though, where you have to consider, and we saw it last year with Bay Area Breakers, is too much talent a problem? Too much of a good thing? Because like I said, we saw it last season with the Breakers. They had a lot of talent on that team, and it just didn't work out for whatever reason. They were the talk of the town, talking about them running the table, being Earth One champions on paper before anything even happened. All that stuff because they have to talk about it. But is that something that is a problem for a lot of these teams in their recruiting, in terms of getting too much talent on their teams?
I think
Is
it.
it a Go ahead, go ahead.
No. So I think it depends. It depends on the team. It depends on the player and the coach. There's a lot of dynamics involved. Generally speaking, I mean, nothing's just black and white, and you just say yes, it's the best, or no, it's bad.
Right. Yeah, exactly.
So I think for some teams, if the coach can keep the egos in check, then it's best. This is prep level basketball. There's going to be some stacked areas. Your Californias, your Northeast New York areas, your Texases. The
Yep.
population is heavy. The density and the talent pool is great. You're going
Right.
to have a lot of talent, and if those kids want to play at this level, they're going to have to play together, and they're going to learn how to do it. And obviously, all these kids like to stack up on teams now instead of competing against each other like they used to anyway. That's a whole nother story. But yeah, I think it can work. But the problem is once the season starts and everyone's like, "Well, I'm not getting minutes, or I wanted to start," or how do you keep that in check? Are the expectations in place? Are you shifting things around every game? How's your team reacting? So. I think there's a lot of elements involved, but I don't think there's anything wrong with having lots of talent on the court. I think it's about how it's managed. Now, at the pro
Yeah.
levels, the
No, that's
collegiate
it.
levels, there's other things to factor in to go along with those egos and how it's managed. There's some on court items that matter too. But at this level, as long as the kids are willing to buy in, know what the expectation is, and you're able to manage it and shift and pivot if needed. I think we've seen it for years. You've seen Oak Hill Academy. You've seen some of the other
Yeah.
high name schools across the country before SimWorld Prep came along. That's what they do. It's a collection of talent. You go out there and get yours on any given night. One night you may drop 40. One night you may drop 2. Shut up. You're on the elite team. You
Yeah.
know what it is. The
Right.
scouts are
Right.
looking. One, you'll get your turn. So it's been a staple forever. But how's it managed? And that falls a lot on how these kids take things and how they deal with it.
Yeah. If the point of sports is to win, I think you win by stacking the deck in your favor, and that means getting the most talent on your team. Um, but like you said, it does come down to how that talent is managed and how you can get everyone to buy into the system that you have.
And then, okay, I'm sorry, B. Ryan, to step on your toes. I do have to add this other part because I feel like it falls right in line. Along with collecting the talent here at the prep level, which this is where I won't knock Coach Pope at all the hard times I give him out in Bay Area. He's done a great job recruiting. We
Yeah,
had him on yesterday.
yeah,
He does a great job recruiting last season. Prep level, it's really, to me, it's not really about fit and finding people in the right position and all that. You're cultivating talent at this level. You could have a team full of guys that are 6'4", 6'5". It's prep. Almost everybody's going to fall in between 6'3" and 6'7". That's the average height. That's the average height. I think the average height for a high school prep level kid is 6'5". You just go get guys that can hoop and you help them
right.
figure out what position they actually play and you go win. There's no centers. There's no power forwards. There's no point guard, small forward, shooting guard. There's none of that. There's just guys that hoop. Some people are going to start out as one thing. I think Kevin Garnett. We've all heard the Kevin Garnett and the Kobe Bryant, the Michael Jordan growth spurt,
Yeah,
the Anthony
David
Davis
Robinson,
was a point guard in high school. We've heard all of these things. So people's positions are fluid. You're helping them see what their future is while trying to win now. So you just go
yeah,
get talent and you see where these guys want to fit. Their
yeah.
positions come into play later down the line. So get the talent.
Agreed, agreed. So look, man, we have the power rankings. Not, I keep saying power
Mm,
rankings, player rankings.
what was
Released.
slipped
Did
into
you?
your Halloween candy, sir?
I don't know, man. I don't know what's going on. Well, look, we got SimWorld Prep SimWorld Prep Top 100 and the ESPN Top 100 players.
Got
and we'll talk
247.
about
Don't forget
247 as
247
well.
dropped
Yes,
theirs
right,
as
you're right.
well.
They did. Looking at these rankings here, anything that kind of sticks out to you or surprises you or anything like that. The ESPN for me, that one through five is uh different from the similar prep one, which is the ESPN one has Pope at 4, Hyman at 5, and similar prep one doesn't even have Pope in the top 10.
Yeah,
So take that for what you will. Interesting. This is an interesting look here.
yeah. There's a lot of stuff here that I find interesting. That's all I can really say. Yeah, Xavier Pope all the way down the rankings, behind a few other people. Somewhere, hey, SimWorld TVs, they have their they have whatever they have on their top 100. Cooper Flag, we see Dylan Harper there. We see the usual names: Arthur Lattimore, Trey Hyman, Nas Hall sneaking his way in. They're just rankings, but they're for debate topics. I think they're pretty interesting. You look at the 247, you see the same top five there: Levin Cutler, Nas Hall, Benari James knocking on the door. I do find it interesting all of the different places that I'm seeing Tyree Wells ranked all across all of these rankings.
Yeah.
I generally lean to ESPN until they're proven wrong, which is often. which is often because things play out, right?
Yeah.
Things are not in a vacuum; they're over a course of time. So, but yeah, I where I see Tyree Wells, where I see Damian Luffy, Monte Parsons, some of the new kids on the block that have history. Because I think it's funny. People are like, "Hey, they've never played a game in SimWorld Prep." Pretty sure they've been playing ball somewhere. They're just because they haven't played in SimWorld Prep. Like to make it to SimWorld Prep, you guys have had to have played SimWorld, played prep ball in SimWorld. Period. You played for your high school team. You played AAU. You just hadn't made it to SimWorld Prep. And I don't think these rankings are SimWorld Prep rankings. I do believe that they're graded on the basis of top players available. Period in prep basketball. So just keeping that
Okay.
in mind.
Fair enough. Fair enough. Good. Look. Good to know that last little tidbit there for sure. But look, player rankings are always a topic, a fun discussion to have, and we know how this is. We know how these players are when it comes to their rankings. We know you're gonna hear a lot of, "Oh, you'll see what I can do," and things like that. So, hey, I talk your talk, young man. talk your talk, but
You'll
keep
see
in
what I
mind
can
that
do.
everyone at some point will be humbled, and you have to, accept that, own up to it, embrace it. That's all part of
Yep.
life is growing up.
There's a Cooper flag and a Dylan Harper in your future for the humbling.
Mhm. 100%, man. Well, look, the commitment craze has finally come to an end. So we had some last minute commitments to talk
Yeah.
about.
Yeah. So they came through the last ones. It looks like all SimWorld prep rosters are now finalized overnight. There were a few that came through. We'll just go ahead and get those out for you. Jamichael Guzman, I believe he's out of Florida, is joining the AT Aliens. Around 6'7". Guy can rebound, can grab boards, and play post defense. So he's joining there. Odor Patterson joining SimWorld Atlantis. Don't have a whole lot of background on this young man, to be honest. He's out there in the in that region where it's a little harder for us to get the scoop on, but I'm sure Coach Kusa knows exactly what's going on. And then Gotham 5 rounding out the rest of their roster with Javion Deck, who we saw in Unsigned Hype playing very well,
Yeah.
and Keyshawn Coulson as well, who was in Unsigned Hype. So Gotham 5's all solidified, and some teams are ready to rock and roll now.
Yep. Bondi Thunder. Also,
Bunde, let me not
Finished
forget
Rocky Mountain, yeah.
Bunde
The
Tunda.
number 37 ranked player
Beyonde.
in his
Tunda.
region. The Unsigned Hype tournament was one of the lowest ranked players there. Found his way onto a team. I am very happy about that. Congratulations, kid.
Congratulations, Bunde Tunda. Love it.
Yes, yes, and good luck to you. Good luck to all of you guys as the season is now officially 1 month away. November 1st, December 1st, first day of the season, y'all. We're excited for it. Bear with us a little longer. Basketball right around the corner,
Yes, it
y'all.
is.
That's gonna do it for our show today. Our show today, though, you guys. Thank you for joining us, y'all. I'll let you take the outro today.
Hey man, I don't have much to say. It was cold yesterday. We trick or treat. Don't eat too much of that candy all at once. If you really want to have some fun and you got kids, take them downstairs with the full bag of candy and say, remember, there's a 2 candy maximum. See the game, be the game. We're out of here. Peace.
It was.
This has been a presentation of SimWorld.